she come in the room with the mail already open, and I was just like, girl, you still in my shine, still in my room, girl, that bad. So do not think just because you failed the class, or maybe you failed 2, that that's gonna hold you back. But there is certain colleges don't just accept you when you think they're gonna accept you. No, it could take up 7 months until they accept you.
What a lie for? Am I in or am I not? So let's just start by saying, first I applied to North Carolina A&T, North Carolina Central, then I applied to Fayetteville State, Shaw University, and Winston-Salem. Let me just start off how the process started. Okay, so it was just one day we was in class. It was like early October. I knew that the school, like the college process, was it was starting in October for the free application. Well, just for the whole thing, like the whole signing up for college and stuff like that. And so I didn't know so much about the early application process. I didn't really care. All I cared about was the free application week. So I did that, and it started on October 19th, but I know it was a process for free application week, like the week before that, and it ended on October 16th. I was gonna do it then, but then I was just like, no, like the free application week is coming up now. Why not do it? You know, if I get accepted into these colleges, you know, then it's just gonna be that. But if I don't, it is what it is. Hey, because I know that I'm in competition with like thousands of other students for these schools. Like North Carolina A&T got 1,200 students. 1,200 students. No, I'm lying. 12,000 students. I just think that's crazy. But you know, they do say that it's the #1 HBCU in the nation, and they got the greatest homecoming, so I do understand. Plus, they just got a good STEM program. What's next? So yeah, I applied the first day. I knew I wanted to be early once again because I knew that I was in competition with a whole bunch of other students. So then I make sure I had all my paper, my social security number, all the information that I needed, like from my parents, from my mother and stuff like that. So I got it, and then I started on CF and C. I'm in North Carolina, so I don't know the process or, you know, the steps for everything is going to be different in other states, and I just know that this particular website is for North Carolina students who are applying to college or who was looking for a scholarship, just basically in a whole like college situation. Okay, so yeah, first I had to make an account, so I made an account, and then it was like the next step to do is FAFSA. So I waited on FAFSA. I still didn't do FAFSA. I still haven't done FAFSA yet, but I'm going to. I actually need to do it today, like by the end of this week. I don't know. I'm gonna just wait till I get accepted to all the colleges that I want to go to. So I applied on the 19th, that exact day. I finished my last application for that day by like 11:40 something, close to 11:50. So yeah, when you go there on the website on CFNC, it's gonna say what is your current school. You know, it's gonna ask. It might ask about schools that you have went to before, but normally they do that on the college applications. So I did it, and my current school is Gardner Manor High School. That's what school I go to now. So I did it, and it was saying send your transcript to 5 different schools. So I sent it to the schools that I named before: Shaw, Fayetteville State, NCU, North Carolina A&T, and Winston-Salem State. So I did that, and then they said it would take 2 days for my transcript to come. So I had to wait on that. But I did it that night. I did at least 2 or 3 of my applications that night, and then I did 2 on the 20th because I was so overwhelmed by the time I got done with doing them 3 applications. I was so overwhelmed. Even though I started late that night, I started around like 9 something, which is not good, but you know, hey, it is what it is. I had stuff to do. So I started with North Carolina A&T because I want to go to North Carolina A&T. Like, I love North Carolina A&T since I was a little girl. Like, I don't say too much of a little girl, but I was in 8th grade. Let's just say I rode past it one day. Yeah, I applied there, and it just asked for stuff like my name, my social security number, my parents' information, like their social security number, like where you stay and stuff like that. You know, just the simple stuff that you would do on like a regular application, or if you was just signing anything like else that's kind of like regular and stuff like that. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And then, oh yeah, on North Carolina A&T, they asked about like you had to write like a little mini paragraph or 250 words. I filled that box up. When I say I filled that box up, but I read that paragraph over so many times because I knew like I didn't want to sound dumb. I'm going to college, so I can't talk like I'm texting like a regular message. Like, had to make sure I ain't using okay, like the regular K, or just regular stuff that I would do. So it was asking like, tell me about you, what do you do, and then it's saying like, why do you want to go to school? So I basically said like, I'm a hairstylist, I do hair, I do nails, well, I do nails from time to time, and basically like I'm creative, I love drawing. I recently just got into drawing from YouTube. When I tell y'all, I was literally up watching YouTube video. This is it. I don't know if I can see, but that's it right there. Anyways, let me get right back into the topic. So yeah, basically I told them about me, like what I had to do, and I started doing a Young Life program. And I do Young Life like all year long. I'm not in it right now because of the coronavirus, but I spent like at least 38 weeks doing Young Life. And then I told, there was like, anyways, let me just get to the next part. So then I applied to NCCU. It's just basically like kind of the same questions over and over, like over and over. That's pretty much what that is. I finished my last application with Headless State that night, I think. So boom, finished the application process. It was basically the same thing over and over. So I went and I started on my FAFSA. It was basically asking information about your parents' taxes or your legal guardian taxes and just stuff like that. And then you have to do, next I advise you to do your residence, something. It's called, it started with the R, it's like RDA. Make sure you do that, because that's going to tell if you live in North Carolina or not. Like, and if you don't get verified, there's other ways that I know that you can do it. Like, so don't get discouraged if they don't accept you for it the first time or they don't think you liable. So I advise you, throughout this whole process, I just advise you to get close with your guidance counselor or your college advisor during this whole time, because they're going to be very helpful. I'm not really close, but I've reached out and asked some questions, and you know, they've been very, very helpful through this whole process. And I will say they've answered some questions that I couldn't answer, or my mother couldn't answer, or nobody in my family could answer. So after I did it, I stopped my FAFSA because I needed some information for my mother's tax, and she just didn't have it at the moment. So yeah, let's get right into the next part. The next part that I do want to talk about, I want to talk about my acceptance and how everything was. Okay, so about 2 days or 3 days later, I know y'all waiting for my GPA, I'm gonna tell in a minute. And I just think it's crazy because with the GPA I had, I didn't think I was gonna get accepted into any college except for Shaw University. Not downplaying it, but I looked at their acceptance rate and my GPA was, I got a message. My GPA was around their acceptance rate, their normal acceptance rate. So wow. But anyways, so yeah, 3 days later I got my first acceptance letter. I didn't get it through the mail, nothing like that, because I know it would take time. So I check my Gmail every day, like every day. I never checked my GPA every day until I started doing the college process. So I checked it and it was saying that I got my decision from North Carolina State University. So I went to to their portal and I logged in, and it was basically saying your decision has been made in the portal. And then I went down a couple things, I'm a screenshot like where it is in the portal, and I might insert it somewhere in here. I might. Don't count nowhere. So yeah, so I went to the portal and it was just, but it was basically saying, I was so nervous, like, cause I really didn't think I was gonna get accepted. So my sister was over at the time, so I made her do it. So somehow she got to the acceptance letter, and I was stressed into my whole family, like, that I was scared I wasn't gonna get accepted. I didn't think I was gonna get accepted into any of these colleges. Yeah, she did it, and then like my brother was standing beside her reading it, and my brother was like, I'm sorry, but something. And in my head, I couldn't cry. I couldn't believe, like, I didn't believe it at all because I knew it was a lie. Like, even though he said I knew he was lying because my brother be lying. Like, what you gotta lie for? It's not that hard to lie for. Am I in or am I not? Like, stop playing with me. Okay, let me get back to North Carolina. I was in New York a little bit. But, so yeah. So then my sister read it and she was like, congratulations, da-da-da, woo-woo. Basically what that stuff was like. And like my whole house went off, like, and we were like jumping up and down. Like my sister was crying. No, hold on. Somebody was crying in the living room. So we ran in my mama's room and I was just so happy. I just started busting out crying like a big baby. My mom started crying because my mom is the main person I stressed this to. Like I was so like overwhelmed with the process. We would just be up talking about it. And my mom, we have big faith in God, but I don't know what happened now. Like my mom was just not. And maybe 3 or 2 days later on Saturday, I get a message from an email from Fayetteville State. So I go there and Fayetteville State, it was an email before basically saying like, congratulations. So I already knew that I got accepted until I went into the thing, because I'm like, why were they saying email first? So I went to go view it and it basically said congratulations. So boom. So after that, for a while I didn't get like any more acceptance letter. I mean, I got stuff from Central and from Fayetteville State, basically like saying like confirm your decision and stuff like that. So, and other stuff like the steps that you gotta do to make sure that you're actually like fully gonna be enrolled as a student, and make sure you do all the process so you can get enrolled. I will say that after you get accepted, that is not the last step you have to do. So please do not think that is the last step. Please check your email daily. Make sure you follow the things. Make sure you do research on that college. Make sure you know what you do. Make sure you keep your grades up so that you can continue to like be finally accepted into that college. It's current now. It's November 5th right now, but I didn't get accepted into any more colleges for a while, and I was just like, dang, like I must have not been good. But I was kind of wondering like why I didn't get accepted into Shaw. But I did some research yesterday, and colleges don't just accept you when you think they're gonna accept you. It could take up to 7 months until they accept you. So that's why you're supposed to wait till like college decision day until you do what you have to do. Yesterday, my mom came in my room with some mail. It was from Shaw, but I got the app on my phone telling me like when mail is coming, who the mail is coming from, and stuff like that. So I checked and it was from Shaw, so I kind of basically knew what it was. So the mom was like, you got acceptance to Shaw, and I'm like, how you know that? She come in the room with the mail already open, and I was just like, girl, you still in my shine, still in my room, like, girl, back. What you doing? And that's on what? That's on period. So yeah, so I was happy about that, and I was just like, boom. So now I have 3 colleges down out of the 5 that I chose. It's all in God's favor. And also, I want to just say, like, just because you don't get accepted into your dream school, please do not get down. Don't let that determine of what your decision is going to be or how you're going to act whenever you decide to go to a different college. So don't go to college just being a grump. Like I just said, please don't do that, because you're not going to be living a life that you want to live because you're not enjoying the greatest homecoming on earth, or you're not in the best school that you made your decision of wanting to go to. Now I'm gonna talk about my GPA and how I got my GPA, stuff like that.